Hello BookTube, it's Leah Cooper here, and today I'm bringing you a Tag Tuesday. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing this every week or like a couple times a month, but I just felt like doing tag videos this month, I guess. So I've got a glass of rosé and the Little Less Lonely book tag. I was tagged by Victoria to do this tag. I will leave a link to her video down below as well as the original tag, which I'm going to have to look up because I did not write that down in my notes, as well as the questions if you're interested in doing this tag. Question number 1 is a classic that seemed to get you. So I don't want to steal Victoria's answer, but I really identified with her answer, which was Mr. Darcy from Pride and Prejudice. Oh man, I identify with Mr. Darcy so much, except for the fact that I'm not rich. I really wish I was like the most eligible bachelor in Derbyshire, but I'm not, so whatever. But the fact that he's really socially awkward and incredibly introverted and likes to keep a very close social circle and does not feel comfortable meeting new people, is not comfortable at parties, but like is super warm and affectionate to his very close circle of friends and people he cares about and his sister. I totally identify with all of it. The fact that he's sort of an asshole to the person he has a crush on, totally identify with it. But I'm not going to steal her answer because I have another answer, and it is also an Austen answer, and that is Persuasion, which is a whole damn book that just seemed to get me. I read Persuasion for the first time when I was in high school, I want to say maybe 13, 14. I thought it was fine, but I was not into it. Like, it was just okay. I really didn't get the appeal. I didn't really see what was so great about Aunt Elliot. She kind of irritated me because she seemed like just a pushover, and you know, she wasn't a spunky Elizabeth Bennet sort. But oh man, then I hit my 20s. Oh my god, that book gets me so hard. Everything about it hurts in ways that are both delightful and also just exceedingly uncomfortable, but kind of cathartic. The relationship is so painfully familiar that, you know, it gets me where I live, because as someone who's now in my, oh my god, my late 20s, I'm officially in my late 20s, I have been Anne Elliot. Question 2, a surprise. A book that surprised you by how much it affected you. This is a hard question to answer because books affect me quite often. I feel like the books I read fall into two categories. Either they're just, oh, they're fine, or they're devastating. Like, I definitely swing on those two extremes. Like, I'm just not into them, or I'm like crying through the end of them. Crooked Kingdom kind of kicked me where I was not expecting to get kicked. At the end, there was one character from the original 6 in that duology that I really didn't care about overly much, and his story arc in the second book really came not out of nowhere, but like the way it affected me definitely came out of nowhere. And I don't want to say more because major spoilers. But of course there's like 4 dudes, so, you know, who am I talking about? Matthias. I'm talking about Matthias. Question number 3. A book that you read at just the right time. Oh man, probably Bridget Jones's Diary. The first time I read it, which was freshman or sophomore year in high school. Not that that's necessarily a good thing. Bridget Jones's Diary is very much a product of its time. I think it came out like 99 or 2000s. It's very much of that era and the social like concerns of that era for, you know, early 30s women, late 20s women or whatever. And the whole obsession with dieting, with recording every single thing you eat, with recording all of your calorie counting in it like a diary, it was something very identifiable. And so it was really nice to see her work through her issues and like learn to love herself over the course of that book and give Mr. Darcy. Whether or not it was like the best thing to read at that time, because when I read it I had a horrible eating disorder that I did not realize I had until, you know, 10 years retrospectively down the line. But it was very timely for when I read it. Did it ultimately probably have a negative effect? Yeah, because it made me I was even more neurotic. And it was just funny and it was acceptable. Yeah, I don't know. Weird answer. This is getting a little personal. Let's move on. Question 4. A book that inspires you. Okay, in my notes, I wrote down uprooted, and I'm not sure why. I don't know if uprooted inspires me so much as it makes me a little jealous of Naomi Novik's writing talent. Did I write this down thinking it would inspire me to write a book as good as Uprooted? I don't know. Maybe. I should probably just go with that answer. Uprooted, because it inspires me to be a better writer. Though it kind of does. Like, that book just blew me out of the water. On the same vein, Radiance inspires me to be a better writer, be a more adventurous writer, because that book blew me out of the water. That is probably not the answers that you were supposed to give for that question, but whatever, that's the answer I'm giving. Okay, question number 5. A book that calms you. Oh god, I have to come up with the answer really quickly because my battery is dying and I need to answer this question and be done with this tag. A book that calms you? Well, nothing that makes me cry. Monster by Aileen Martinez. It's one of my favorite books. I reread it quite frequently. It doesn't make me cry. It makes me chuckle, but it's not like, laugh out loud necessarily. But it's just like a good, solid, fun, quirky, sarcastic book. And that's like sometimes just the number one thing you need is like some good, quirky, sarcastic fun. I might also say like Pride and Prejudice. Again, it's a book that I reread frequently just because it makes me happy, And I don't have the angst associations with it that I do with Persuasion, for example. So yeah, we'll go with those 2 books. I'm not going to tag anyone in this, but if you're watching this tag and these questions sound interesting, consider yourself tagged and let me know if you do it, and I will go watch your video. And I'll see you guys in my next video.